Welcome to the AI for Career Success podcast by Curt Robbins, where we help you get smarter than your competition.
This is episode 149.
I'm Fred.
And I'm Daphne.
Today, we're unpacking some really incredible insights. This was actually suggested by our producer, Curt Robbins.
That's right. We analyzed a conversation with NVidia CEO Jensen Huang. He was speaking about securing American leadership in AI, and we got the transcript from the Center for Strategic and International Studies.
And the target here, for you listening, is to understand not just what AI does, but the actual stack it relies on.
Right, the foundational layers. And more importantly, how understanding that stack prepares you for the future of your work.
We always talk about AI like it's this cloud, this abstract thing, but he lays it out as a physical platform with 5 distinct tiers.
It's a blueprint, really, a way to see where the opportunities are and also where the constraints are.
So to even start, you have to understand NVIDIA's role in all of this. I mean, they see themselves as the largest pure-play tech company in the world.
Yeah, their final product is just pure technology. They don't make the car or the drug. They create the platform that lets other people do that.
They invent the architecture, something called CUDA, for instance.
And CUDA is so critical here. It's a parallel computing architecture. It's basically the set of instructions that lets developers use NVIDIA's chips for, all sorts of things way beyond just graphics.
Like drug discovery.
Drug discovery, self-driving cars, financial modeling. It's the glue that connects all these different fields to the hardware. It's the platform.
Okay, so if they build a platform, let's get to this 5-layer stack. He breaks it down like a construction project.
Right. And layer 1 is the absolute bedrock. It's energy.
Just energy.
Yeah.
Simple, but profound. Without it, none of this exists.
Yeah.
The industry just can't thrive.
But this is where the first huge problem comes up, especially from a U.S. perspective.
A major geopolitical constraint. Huang points out that China has roughly double the national energy capacity of the United States.
Double. And that has massive implications. The U.S. wants to reindustrialize, build these new chip plants, build what he calls AI factories.
Which are really just giant data centers.
Exactly. And they need an immense amount of power. So if you're looking for where the jobs are, that energy constraint is a huge signal.
Right. It means growth in efficiency, in decentralized energy, in optimizing power consumption, because just building new power plants isn't happening fast enough.
Okay, so that's layer 1, bedrock. Layer 2 is chips and systems. This is where, U.S. companies like NVIDIA they're generations ahead.
That's the structural frame of the building. But even there, he gives a warning.
He does, because manufacturing is global, and competitors can, for example, discount energy costs for their own chip companies by 50%. That makes U.S. manufacturing way, way more expensive.
So leading in tech doesn't guarantee you'll lead in making the tech.
Which brings us right to layer 3, infrastructure. This is the mortar, the pipes, the wiring.
And infrastructure isn't just the cloud. He defines it much more broadly. It's land, it's capital. I mean, enormous amounts of capital.
And the software like CUDA and something he calls the power shell.
The power shell,
right.
So the physical facility, right? The building itself, the cooling systems.
Exactly. And this is tied to another problem, speed, or, a lack of speed. He says it takes about 3 years in the U.S. to go from breaking ground to having a new AI supercomputer running.
3 years? That's a lifetime in this field.
It is. So if the foundation, energy, is constrained and the construction speed is slow, what about the actual intelligence?
That's layer 4, the AI models.
Yeah.
The blueprints. This is what most people think of when they hear AI.
Right, they think of language models. But he points out there are something like 1.5 million AI models out there globally.
Wow.
Yeah. It's not just language. It's models that understand genes, proteins, physics, financial markets. I mean, every scientific domain you can imagine.
And what's the competitive landscape look like there?
It's interesting. The U.S. is ahead on what are called frontier models, the biggest, most cutting-edge ones, maybe by 6 months.
There's a but.
A huge but. And this is critical for your career. He says China is well ahead, way ahead on open source models.
Okay, we have to talk about that.
Yeah.
Because open source is how innovation spreads. It's how people learn.
It's everything.
Yeah.
Open source lowers the barrier to entry to almost zero. It lets startups, university researchers, scientists, anyone, really, get their hands on powerful tools without needing millions in capital.
So we might have the tallest skyscraper, But they're building a sprawling, accessible city.
That's a perfect analogy, and that directly fuels the most important layer of all, layer 5.
Applications and diffusion.
This is the finished building, the part people actually use. This is where the whole Industrial Revolution is won or lost.
He used that great analogy about electricity, invented in the UK.
But the U.S. applied it faster and more broadly, and that's how we won that revolution. The lesson is simple. Whoever diffuses the technology fastest wins.
And you can't have diffusion without societal acceptance. This was a striking point. The data he cited shows 80% of people in China believe AI will do more good than harm.
Whereas in the U.S., it's the opposite. That creates what he calls social drag. We're slowing ourselves down by framing everything through a sci-fi Terminator lens.
Okay. Let's take a brief break for a special message from our producer, Curt Robbins.
Hi, this is Curt Robbins. First, thanks for listening. I truly appreciate your support. I want to let you know that I'm currently accepting new clients. My rates are affordable, and I have more than 25 years of experience working for enterprise companies like Microsoft, Northrop Grumman, Oracle, PNC Bank, FedEx, USAA, and Wells Fargo, among many others. If you want to improve your IT documentation and communications, hire me. I deliver fast, know how to use AI to improve efficiency and accuracy, and love going the extra mile to satisfy my clients. Thank you for subscribing and listening. Back to you, Daphne and Fred.
Welcome back to the AI for Career Success podcast.
So we've laid out this 5-layer stack, and that gives us the big picture, the national competition.
Right. Layers 1 to 3 are the physical foundations, but 4 and 5 models and applications, that's where you, the professional, have the most direct impact.
Which pivots us perfectly to the question everyone is asking.
Yeah.
How does this change my job?
I mean, the anxiety is real. Huang says it himself. Every job, every profession will be affected. But this is why he makes the most important distinction.
The one everyone needs to grab onto.
Yes. You have to understand the difference between a task and a job.
The tasks you do every day. Those will be changed, enhanced, maybe even automated away. But the job itself, that evolves.
It gets amplified. The best example he gave was the radiologist. Years ago, a famous AI scientist said radiologists would be obsolete in 5 years because AI vision was getting so good.
I remember that. It caused a panic.
It did. But what actually happened, fast forward, and 100% of radiology platforms use AI. But the number of radiologists has actually gone up.
Gone up. Why?
Because the AI handles the task, studying the scan, finding every little anomaly, doing it faster and better than any human.
But the job of the radiologist is to diagnose disease. It's to understand the patient's history, talk to other doctors, and make a final judgment call.
Exactly. The AI made the human expert more valuable, not less. It freed them up to focus on the highest level of their expertise.
And that's happening right inside NVidia. He said 100% of their engineers now have an AI assistant, an AI coder.
And you'd think, okay, they need fewer engineers now. But he says they're busier than ever.
Because the AI does the boring stuff, the debugging, the repetitive code.
Right. All the mundane tasks. So the human engineer spends all of their time on what humans do best. Original thought, complex system design, solving problems that don't have a clear answer.
Okay, let's apply that. Let's say you're a financial analyst.
Your task is messing with spreadsheets, cleaning data, running the same report every month. AI can just evaporate that work.
But your job is to give financial advice. It's to understand the market, to talk to a client, to build a strategy, the human part. Your expertise is now multiplied.
Or a lawyer. The task is reading thousands of documents for discovery. That's a perfect AI task.
But the job is crafting a legal strategy, negotiating a settlement, standing up in court. That's judgment. That's human.
So the career advice here is just, it's incredibly clear.
Don't fear being replaced. Engage with it aggressively. Use these tools to automate your task so you can double down on the core value of your job.
The professional who does that, they're not just surviving, they're becoming the most productive, most valuable person in their entire field.
And this all feeds into the next big wave you mentioned, robotics.
Yeah, he said the AI that manipulates pixels in the cloud is just around the corner from manipulating motors in the physical world.
AI moving from digital to physical.
And it's driven by necessity. There are severe labor shortages in manufacturing, both here and in China. Re-industrialization requires it. AI-powered robotics is the only way to solve that labor problem.
So to synthesize this for everyone listening, what are the main takeaways?
First, AI isn't magic. It's a 5-layer stack, and it's built on a very real, very physical foundation of energy. Your biggest opportunities are at the top in layers 4 and 5 models and applications.
And second, stop worrying about your job. Start thinking about your tasks, define your job, your core human value, and then use AI to automate or enhance all the tasks that get in the way of you doing that job.
Engaging AI isn't an option anymore. It's the baseline for being competitive.
So here's a final thought to leave you with. If AI makes every professional 10 times more productive at their tasks, what do we do with all that reclaimed human time and brain power? What are the new jobs, the things we can't even imagine today, that we're about to invent?
Thank you for listening to the AI for Career Success podcast from Curt Robbins, where we help you get smarter than your competition.
Remember to like, subscribe, comment, and share. We'll see you next time.